Hello, everyone. Welcome to theater this week on Tuesday after Memorial Day. So this week for theater, we are looking at stage makeup.
Yes.
So you guys get to play in some makeup if you guys want. Everything I've done is all stuff I had. I actually ended up using some of my green concealer for anybody that does concealer smell like stuff, right? So green concealer, and then I used gouache on top of it. So that's a type of paint that's almost kind of like a watercolor. And then I just used green eyeshadows and things like that, and liners and stuff. So it's everything I had at home. You too can be a witch. Great. My skin will never breathe again, but that's cool. I don't need to breathe. Da, 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 da. What's 1970s art? Why do we have 1970s art?
It looks shiny.
Thanks. I asked for this highlighter. So anytime you have to push your light and your dark. FYI, which we'll talk about in just a second. Okay, well, I'll just go off the slideshow. That's lighting design. Here we go. There's the right PowerPoint. I was compiling all your lighting design stuff for Miss Jamie, if she likes to showcase the stuff we do. So let's put them all in a PowerPoint. All right, theater makeup. So theater makeup helps you to like really get into character, right? Pushing your characters makes things more believable. Your characters are always judged by the audience, so you got to really like make sure your actors look good as a theater makeup artist. Learning techniques of makeup is a must. You don't always want to rely on your makeup team. A lot of times there's only one or two of them and there's like 30 of y'all. So learning your own makeup techniques as an actor, even if you like, I just want to act, I don't want to work tech because I'm crazy. Even if that's the case, it's still super important that you guys start learning and playing around with makeup and like how to create different looks. So a makeup artist that's your people that come and do your wonderful makeup for you. I know Riley has been on the makeup crew pretty much all of Innovation at this time here, doing our makeup and making us all look fabulous in the plays. Stage makeup is very, very different from regular makeup. You have to wear makeup no matter what. Anytime you're on stage, you have to wear makeup, whether you're a boy or a girl. Stage lights will wash a person out. So even if you're going for a natural look, you know, if I'm going for a nice natural green, I still want to make sure my greens, you know, are clean in the audience. Because again, that light is just harsh and it'll completely wash you down. Typical theatrical makeup is pretty close to regular makeup with some exceptions. So we have like foundations and powders. Tattoo cover-ups are a big deal. Wonderful fake eyelashes are great, you know, and much more. A lot of times we will get specialty makeups, right? So Bill Nye is a big like makeup creator for stage makeup, does some great stage makeup things for different effects. So you're looking at your stage makeup and you're looking at making a character, right? So you really, again, have to know your characters, right? This would not be appropriate for, Waiting for Godot or, you know, some modern play, the play we did. Not necessarily the look I'd want to go with unless you're in the mirror, right? You really have to get to know your characters. I should not be in The Lion King right now. Wrong play. So you need to look male, female, animal, what's the skin tone, what kind of character are you trying to show? You're really designing and, you know, doing some great things and playing and really turning your actors into that character. So you're looking at, you know, who are they? Are they a tomboy? Are they girly? Are they artsy? Are they tortured emotionally with lots of black eyeliner and black, wait, what? And yeah, right. So you're really looking at who they are. That character analysis is important on basically any level of your stage and theater practices. So you're setting the actor's appearances, you're setting the tone, you're looking at, you know, the facial features, really getting to know all about the person and all about their makeup. So theatrical makeup, you get to be creative, play with it, have fun. More is better. Push it, push your darks. But again, have lots of fun with your theater makeup. Be creative. Don't be afraid to try new things, right? There's plenty of time to play with makeup before your shows go on, you know, and your director sees it. So plenty of time to play. Yeah, drag is a very good example, Haley. That is another type of theatrical makeup, right? It's even Lady Gaga, who is not a traditional, says when she's in her makeup, she calls it drag. When she's in her performance of Lady Gaga versus whatever her name is, she calls it drag because it is its form of stage makeup and a form of stage presence. Absolutely, drag is totally.
Oh my God.
So your different types of categories of makeup. You have your realistic, right? I am playing a normal teenager from a normal teenage thing, so I want realistic makeup. Again, you're not doing it the same way you do your makeup. You're pushing your darks a lot darker, even more so than what you feel comfortable with, because from the back of the house, they aren't going to be able to see it unless it is like in your face, brightly done, right? You have old age or illness. That's a classic one. I know several of you guys had Riley doing old age on you. Again, pushing those lines, really making it old. We had facial hairs, scars, bruises, blood, burns, mustaches, eyebrows. You have the more fun stuff like fantasy with animals, geishas, tattoos, fairies, witches, boars, all of that. I like playing the fantasy, especially cosplayers, right? And then you have your prosthetics, fake noses, fake ears, fake wounds and warts, and, you know, all your fake. Give somebody a third eye. You know.
I remember when Sean like burnt a cork so then they could use it for Carson's beard for 12th night. I remember that.
Yeah, you come up with some very interesting ways of doing things or applying weird things to your body and faces, like tissue paper, like toilet paper. Don't want to tell you to use any right now with everything crazy, but it actually does really good at being like the underlayer for like gore and bruises and like pustule things. Is you can like use like regular glue, Elmer's glue, and tissue paper or toilet paper and like build that up and then paint it. You guys should play with that this week. Right?
Oh my God.
Here's examples of realistic makeup. So if we're looking at this, we're like, wow, they are really caked in makeup. They look, that is a lot. Yes. Perfect. Good. There is a lot of makeup there, right? Going for stage realistic makeup, not realistic. Old age, right? So as people age, their lines in their faces deepen and crinkle, and they just get, you know, old, like really dark, old. So you really want to make those nice and dark and push those, like wrinkles that you have. Well, I have, y'all don't have.
I really can't see patients.
Right. So you really, really like look at how great these ladies look here, right?
Bro.
Dark spots, liver spots, lots of lines. Right. Really, really looking at that nice old age and aging somebody. Bruises, scars, burns, and blood.
I love this.
So anything uniformity is bad. Anytime you scar or bruise or any type there's gore, it's always random. It's not symmetrical. Blood is always the last thing because it doesn't ever truly dry. It just stays nice and gooey. Those of us who work the haunted house, we know.
Yep.
Yep. Stimple sponges are good for that. So this is like a stimple sponge, right?
Is there still a blood stain on the carpet in the commons?
Never be a blood stain where we killed that kid.
What?
There's a huge blood stain.
I don't know.
Don't talk about it.
Not do
I think
that.
it was probably Austin. I haven't seen him since quarantine.
We don't discuss things.
Yeah, we don't.
We're being recorded. Hush, children.
We want to join Peter next year.
Adding fake beards and mustaches and eyebrows are a big thing, right? So we have this lovely lady here.
Yeah,
Like,
these sideburns.
look at this great like stash here.
Yeah.
Wow, the sideburns.
Awesome. We're looking at more kind of period pieces. The fun of the fantasy realm.
Oh, what is that in the middle?
That is Gore. So it looks like half her face is ripped off.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was flowers.
Yeah.
What?
I thought it was.
Actually, it might be. It
Nope.
looks like it is flowers.
No,
No,
that's
it's
definitely
not.
ripped off.
And don't close in on it.
Nope.
From a distance, it looked a little bit like roses.
Somebody should try this out with like the tissue paper like I was talking about.
Or you could use
I
liquid
have red
latex.
tissue paper.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
Haley, I think you could like pull this one.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. I think I have the stuff for it.
Right.
Oh, it's gonna give me nightmares.
Good.
Right. Great job with the lion here. I don't know what the gold girl is supposed to be, but
Pardon.
she looks.
Cherry blossom.
So here's the
Ooh.
prosthetics. Here you go
Ugh.
for your nightmare with your pencil through the nose here.
Mm,
Oh, I hate that.
Yummy. Extra yummy snack.
it's like Chucky.
Right.
I'm eating.
It's like Chucky.
So this older lady, well, she's not, but she's supposed to look kind of like an older lady, is a great example
And
of
wrinkles and stuff.
old age and wrinkles, but really how to push it. Do you see how strong these lines are? Right? And how deep shadows are?
Yeah.
Like perfect. Even though it's like looking at it, you're like, oh my God, you can't possibly. This will show up under the lights amazingly. That your lighting designer like David will want to try and wash out the best they can. And we're like, ha ha, no, you can't. Again, different types of makeup. So you have your cake makeups that you can use, right? Again, plugging the Bill 9 there. It really is the best type of makeup. So you have these ones that are kind of cake creamy. They're non-greasy, so it's not like the Halloween makeup you'll play with, like the grease sticks and all that. Right? So they're not like that. They're great to work with. It really helps you kind of layer on. You have different kind of liquid makeups. Again, I didn't have liquid makeups today, but that's what you would use to like tint skins and stuff like that. So I just used a non-toxic wash. Please make sure it's non-toxic if you play with paint on your skin. And don't use watercolor. It's kind of like fake blood. It never really dries and it's just sticky. Watercolor is not it.
Okay.
So you can buy all different kinds of makeup kits. A lot of times when you start getting into theater seriously, you want to start owning your own makeup, right? You don't necessarily want to use because cooties are bad, as we've learned.
Grease.
All different kinds of sponges are used. I just showed you this one with the stippling sponge, but you know, you have all different kinds of application sponges that we use in theater makeup. So applying makeup, just like normal, you start with your foundation, you blend, you use lots and lots of powder so your foundation doesn't run away everywhere, everything. There's things called setting powders, which are great. I'm not using a setting powder, so if I were to rub my face and then show you, my hand would be green. But with like setting powders, it like holds it in place, right? It's not going anywhere.
A sloth.
Maybe,
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a sloth.
Ronnie.
right, Ronnie? Okay, so we have our specialty makeups. We have our normal makeups, natural powders. Yeah, you can also use airbrushing is a big deal. especially with the more professional ones, to airbrush characters. It's also a lot faster. Again, really, really pushing and applying of your makeup. This shows like how to apply makeup here. So when you're playing with stuff, if you're wanting to do that, play with that, including gentlemen. Right. Not all characters are the same, nor should they be the same on set. Like, look at these great foggy contexts here. Okay, so anything you can do to try and make them individual is wonderful. Adding giant fake eyelashes. Again, just play and have fun with your theater makeup.
Death.
To me, theater makeup should just be fun. Just have fun.
And it can also be a profession.
Yeah. Yes. But even in your professionalism, have fun. You want to have more highlights than shadow. So Ash says I'm shiny to help catch light on line with highlighter. You don't want lines unless you're doing like old age or it's specific lineage work. So you want to try and make things are blended. Right. Younger people have less shadows. Older people have more shadows and wrinkles and fun, gross. Yeah. All right. So theater morgue. So that is when you are starting to think of what you want to do, right? You've gotten your play, you know your characters, you're learning about them, and you're starting to like grab little inspirations. You go to Pinterest, you type in the makeup, and you start pinning a board full of different looks and ideas and thoughts, right? And you're just collecting all these different things, the hair, the makeup, all the things you want for that character, right? If I'm doing Elphaba from Wicked, I'm looking at all different kinds of Elphamas I've seen and looking at, you know, horror witches and TV witches and all of these different things. I might even look, you know, some towards nature and pull in some different plants or some different emerald colors with, you know, gems and jewel tones. Right, so you really want to start collecting, and that's your process, right, where you're collecting all these different pictures. Right, then there are theater makeup renderings. So this is your face is drawn and you start coloring the face. Like this is what I would do, this is where I would put what, this is how the makeup would look on the face. Right, so that's that drawing that out and that designing it. This just shows where to put the highlights on the face, nose, forehead, cheek, chin, all the places I'm shiny there, Ashton.
Aye.
And then here's where you put your shadows. You have your shadows underneath, darkening, usually like if you're older needing to do bridge of the nose, underneath, right? You really want to start doing the shadows and you push those really far. Highlights and shadows, again, extremely important. Or the makeup lights, or the, not makeup lights, the stage lights will wash you out. Okay, so the reason you're actually here is your theater assignment. What are you doing, right? You have choices this week, and I think it probably reads a little confusing, and I'm sorry. I tried to make it as clear as possible. So, you guys are gonna play with makeup. You can do that in one of three ways. One, you can do full looks on yourself or your sibling or your mom or somebody else. So you can fully, like me, you know, going for Elphaba, completely do how I would do the makeup, right? You need to do at least 3 looks. So you can do that, three very different in each category, like 3 from each, 1 from each of the category, but 3 total. There we go. You can, number 2, if you don't want to play with makeup, you're like, I don't have any makeup at home. That is not my thing. I'm not comfortable with that. That's cool. You're going to create one of the morgues, right? And do some renderings, right? Do some coloring on where you would put some stuff, right? And then your third option is you can do all of the above. So you can do some, like, I just want to do Elphaba and I played with it and it was fun, but I want to use the other 2 and just draw them out. That's fine. You can do 1 drawing and 2 makeup looks. That's fine. So your assignment, you need to pick 1 from old age and illness, 1 bruises, scars, burns, and blood, oh my, and 1 fantasy. So you're gonna do an old age, you're gonna do bruises, burns, scars, blood, gory, gross, and 1 from the fantasy category.
Okay.
I need 5 photos of each look. That doesn't mean you're doing 5 different looks. That means I take a photo from this angle, I take a photo from this angle, I take a photo from this angle. I could take a
What
couple.
if it's a drawing? Huh?
So I think it talks about that.
Okay.
So any type of makeup, I wasn't at that point because I lost track of time making some soup.
Uh-huh. So if you need to go back and review the slide, Jake, okay? So you need to do old age, bruises, scars, and burns, fantasy. If this is the with makeup, Riley. So with makeup, you're going to take 5 photos of yourself. Again, it could be
Okay.
You're going to title it Makeup Morgue, your name, and the assigned categories. So you're going to say like old age and then have the old ages, and then bruises and then have bruises, and then fantasy and then have fantasy. I only want 4 images max per slide. I want them nice and big. I'm fine if you do 1 giant image per slide, but no more than 4, please. And it actually probably bring that down. 4 is probably a lot to really see. Okay, so without makeup, you're going to create the morgue, you're going to create the rendering, right? So that is your collections and clippings of pictures and renderings of your inspiration. Same, using the same categories, right? I swear on here I had how many? Yep, okay. So the morgue without, so here's the second one, right? So you're collecting photos, you need 30 various photos and images, so 10 per. So Riley, what that would mean is you could do your 1 drawing and 9
Yeah.
information photos.
Okay.
Okay. Same
Cool.
thing, title it the same way, and no more than 4 images per slide. Is that clear? Ask me questions now.
So if I were to do the gore one that you said I should try doing, that would fall under fantasy?
It depends on how you do it. You could that could also fall under bruises, scars, burns, and blood.
Okay.
It's either way, depending on how you do it. If you want to do like gore as in I'm a ravenous zombie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or gore where the woman's half her face. I would think how much maiming.
Okay. Okay. And then also, I don't have a lot of makeup products specifically, but I do have face paint.
Yeah.
And, okay. Cool.
That's what it's for. Again, any kind of tempera or gouaches are also really good for skin.
Okay.
Are prosthetics okay?
Prosthetics are great. That would probably, depending, well, you could do it in the old age, you could do it in, it can fit in any category. It's up to you. But prosthetics are great.
Okay, I'm coming over now.
Any other questions?
Well, I just remembered in like is the Moog stuff just like on pen and paper, or is it just like
So Jake,
any type of?
you can do the one
Yeah.
that's pen and paper and collecting different photos. You can do
Okay.
actual makeup like mine.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Do a collection of both.
Oh.
Any other questions while you have me?
Not at the moment for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm available if you do have questions. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. I'm excited. David, are you gonna like try and like do actual makeup stuff?
I don't know. I might. If I do actual makeup, it'll probably be probably only 1 or 2, not all 3. But
Right. That's why you have that option. I'd like it if everybody tried to play with makeup for one of them, but I know that's not necessarily doable. But I would like it if y'all at least tried.
Can I do a little bit of the free time?
Do what?
You've got 10 more minutes
No, I didn't.
to do it. Yes, you do.
If there's no other questions, we will hit stop on the thing.